So I'll just give you guys a little bit more context and history on who I am. So as I mentioned before, my name is Jody Ann Smith. I was born and raised on the beautiful island of Jamaica, and I moved to Pennsylvania when I was 15 years old with my family, my mom and my brothers. I finished high school there, and then I went on to college and I graduated with a degree in HR from Penn State University. I started my family early. I was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years, moved back to Jamaica, and then re-entered the workforce in the scrap metal industry. And then when things kind of slowed down in that industry, we decided to migrate to the United States. So we came to Georgia, and it was almost a no-brainer in picking Georgia because, my husband and I visited many states, Florida, New York, New Jersey, and just different places. But Atlanta resonated with us. We also have family here. One of my brothers that I'm really close to lives here. And, we felt like there were lots of great headquarters here, so it shouldn't be too difficult to land a corporate job living in Georgia. So my husband is a technical geek. He works in GIS with Comcast as an engineer. And then I landed my first opportunity with one of the top quick service chain restaurants in HR. And I've been working there for the past 4.5 years. Um, but more importantly, and why I'm here to talk to you guys today, is really about pursuing things that you are passionate about, right? And one thing that's really important in doing so is to identify what it is that you're good at. Right. So I always joke to say, or not really joke, but I always say that, I might think I'm a good cook, but what does my family really think? Do they think that I'm a really good cook as well? So one of the things that I did that helped me determine what I was good at was to survey my close friends and family. And I don't know the questions off the top of my head, but I have them written down, and I also will share with you guys a one pager that I put together to share with you on, just highlights from the sessions and takeaways that I think would be beneficial to you. So some of the questions that we ask, and it's a short survey, right, was describe a time when you've seen me thriving and I was at my best. What was I doing? What are 3 adjectives that describe me? What is something you think I do well? What are some things you think I don't do well? What is something you admire about me? And what is something you have learned from working with or observing me? And this was very critical for me in, just kind of branching out and starting something brand new, because I wanted to make sure that I was doing something that I was good at, something people thought I was good at, and something that I could remain consistent at doing. One of my favorite quotes by Pastor Craig Rochelle states that successful people do consistently what others do occasionally. And really to differentiate yourself from others and just to excel and soar in whatever you do, you have to do it consistently. So you want to make sure that you're pursuing something that you can, truly keep up. The passion is there. You're excited to learn more. You want to attend conferences. You want to read and things like that to stay up to date. Another key tip would be to establish what is my purpose, right? What is my why? Why is it that I'm doing this? You want to make sure that you're clear on your why, because your audience will know that, hey, this person might just be doing it for the money, or this person is doing it for, what have you, the likes, or, whatever it is. But you want to make sure that you are clear on your why. You communicate that to them. You stay true to who you are. Authenticity is paramount, right? Because your supporters, whether on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it may be, they will recognize if you're not authentic, right? So you want to make sure that you remain true to yourself. And that way, you being true to yourself will also help you to consistently give and produce fresh and engaging content to your audience. So there is a book that I read early out last year. It's called Start with Why by Simon Sinek. And that book, I highly recommend that you read it. It gives you great, insights on, like companies who are very clear on their why and how successful they are. And you have to view yourself as a company, as a brand. Who am I? What is it that I want, people to take away from my brand and my company, and what is it that I'm offering to others. So, and then another area that I find is really, really important would be to develop authentic relationships. And what I mean by that is find a mentor, right? So when I think about myself, I'm a mom, I have 3 biological girls. And my job as a parent is to mentor them, to show them the way, to guide them, because yes, they're going to be influenced by, their friends, their peers, other family members, but it is my job to be a mentor to them. That helps to shape their outlook on life, their values, and things like that. So for me, in the professional space, like in the HR space, and even in the influencing space, I have found that just having a mentor has benefited me significantly. These are folks who have paved the way. They have way more expertise than I have. They have walked the path before, so they can share with me some of their key learnings, and then I can go ahead and implement them in my business, implement them in my the way I operate at work and in a professional setting. So I would say it's very important to just develop those authentic relationships and and seek out mentors. So those are the 3 main tips that I would share with you in terms of, just being consistent, determining your why, and having a mentor. So let's talk a little bit more now about my launch on Instagram. So I touched a bit on mentorship, and for years, I would say maybe not a long time, but maybe 3 or 4 years or so. Sorry. Can you guys see me? Give me a thumbs up if you can, because my computer was falling asleep. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. So for probably about 4 years or so, I have one of my best friends. We've been friends for about 17 years. And she started a decor page on Instagram. And she always knew that, I was passionate about this. And, I had, I guess, some skills or talent where that was concerned. And she encouraged me, a lot of times, time and time again. I think you should, launch on Instagram. And I was so timid and so afraid, because I felt like, oh my gosh, we bought an old house. What am I going to showcase? We have a lot of renovation to do. Am I going to be able to be consistent? And, I wasn't even on Instagram at the time. So I felt like I was just so behind with time, and it would be a lot for me to catch up with. So needless to say, I wound up joining Instagram. I think it was January of last year. I created my page, and I just had a coming soon on my page, just to kind of hold me accountable, because I knew that 2020 was the year I'm going to launch, my Instagram platform. And so I just put a coming soon on there. But for 8 months, I did nothing, I was so terrified. I was just, I would just talk myself out of starting, but then in August, I just got that drive to do something. And it didn't just come overnight. I was listening to a podcast that I absolutely love and I highly recommend. It's by one of our Jamaican sisters. Her name is Nikayla. The podcast is called Side Hustle Pro, and she features women, successful women that are entrepreneurs who are just like you and I. You know, they work their corporate job, they start their entrepreneurship or their side business as a side hustle, and they just talk about the stories. You know, they share their wins, their losses, their gains, and it really inspired me to just try. Right? Nothing but a try beats a failure. So it inspired me to try. And honestly, between August and now we're in early March, I've been able to grow my following from 0 followers literally to over 11,000 supporters.
So I have a question
And
for you, Jody.
sure.
So my name is Adriana. I sit on the board for JWOF, and I just had to pop in because this is a really cool segment for a lot of us in this room. And my question to you is, how do you take that initial step? You know, when you're someone who you're like scared and shy, and you know, how do you all of a sudden do you just, okay, let me post and see what happens? Like,
Yeah, right. So I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. And my advice there is to just be clear on your why, right?
okay.
Survey your friends and your family, about 15 to 20 people. Ask those questions. I shared what those questions are, but they'll also be available for you all to email out to the participants in the group today to so that those folks can help you determine what it is that I'm good at. What is it that Adrian is good at? What is it that Jodianne is good at? You know, what is it that Teresa is good at? So that is important because you want to be able to produce consistent content.
Right.
Right? You want to be able to do it consistently so that you can keep your audience engaged, keep them looking out. Oh my gosh, when is she going to post? I can't wait for her post because,
Right.
they're just so
Something new from you.
yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely, I was definitely riddled with fear as well. But I just had to come to the realization that if I don't start, nobody's gonna start for me. So I have to start myself.
Mhm.
So
That's awesome. And so it's been, you said you started in August, it was?
yes, I made my first post in August.
Okay. And it's now March. I mean, time
Yes.
really flies. Do you find that you're shifting what you're going to be posting, or you're going to remain consistent? I know you said consistency is key. Are you going to be shifting, or do you find that the space you're in is perfect for you right now?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Thank you for asking. So, the page that I created is more of a lifestyle page.
Mm,
So again, I interviewed folks, they're like, you're kind of good at a whole lot of little things,
right.
but there are things that I find are my sweet spots, like decorating or even cooking. I really love to cook,
Ooh.
but I find that I don't even share that as much on the platform. But
Mhm.
hopefully over time, I'll be able to figure out creative ways to incorporate that on my page. So yeah, I have a lifestyle page and I focus on fashion,
Mhm.
uh, home, lifestyle, and mindfulness.
Mhm. Mhm.
So for the foreseeable future, I see myself kind of staying here, but I'm looking forward to growing
Mhm.
and evolving as, time goes on.
So do you see this as a way to kind of gain passive income for long term? Like, could I literally walk away from my job and do this full time and earn a living and support my family and sustain?
Absolutely. You most definitely can walk away from your full time job and pursue this. But it takes a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
Because nothing that is going to, give you a whole bunch of income and things like that comes easily, right? You have to put in the work, you have to be dedicated to it. And again, I shared that, my mentors were very integral in helping me to understand how I could monetize on the
Right.
platform, right?
Okay.
And you don't have to have a whole bunch of followers either
Okay.
to monetize on the platform. There's certain things that as you grow, you get exposed to more things. So for example,
Uh-huh.
with Instagram, you have to have a minimum of 10,000 supporters
Okay.
in order to have this swipe up feature. And that's where your influence really comes in now, right? Because now
Okay.
I have the influence to share with my audience things that I love, things that I purchase, and because they might look up to me, or they like my style, or they like I decorate, they might go ahead and purchase some of these items.
Wait a
So
minute. So you're referring, okay. So I'm all over Instagram, so I'm learning here.
yeah,
We're taking those nuggets from you. So I go on Instagram and I do see where it says swipe up. Is that what you're referring to?
yes, that's exactly what I'm
Oh,
referring to. And it's generally in like people's stories. So in their stories, I'll have an opportunity to link a product. So every time somebody swipes up on the
yes.
product just to view it,
Mhm.
I make a commission, right? And then if you go a step
Yeah.
further
Mhm.
and make a purchase, I'll also make a commission from those purchases.
Oh,
So that's one way to monetize on the Instagram platform. But outside of that, you have collaborations with brands, right?
mhm.
So if you notice, if you go to my page, my handle, by the way, for those who don't know, is J Simone Styles
Let me
on
get
Instagram. Um,
that.
Thank you. I see that one of my BFFs typed it in the chat. So it's J Simone Styles at Instagram. And you'll see like contact information on there. My email is there. So
Yes.
I get emails from different brands, which is how I was able to partner with one of my biggest sponsors that I'm really, really proud of. And it's Gold. It's apple cider vinegar gummy. They just reached out to me via email to say, hey, we like your content, and I think you would be a great brand ambassador here. And it's a paid sponsorship,
Mhm.
right? But then you also have the opportunity to reach out to brands, and send them emails, showcase your work. And what's that called is like pitching. So you're pitching yourself to a brand. And yeah, they'll review. They might get back to you, they might not. But yeah, most of my brand related campaigns are, I get them through email. So that's another way to monetize on the platform. And then outside of that,
Mhm.
we have folks like, you and me who, just like what they see on the page, and they'll
Yeah.
say, hey, Jodianne, I want to redecorate my kitchen.
Right.
I want to revamp my bathroom. I want to revamp my bedroom. Is there any way you can help me, and things like that? So what I've done is I've created an intake form
Mhm.
with, about 10 or so questions, just gathering more details
Mhm.
from those clients on what exactly are their needs. What's your style? What's your budget?
Mhm.
What's your timeline, and things like that. And then I'll send them a quote. They'll determine if it's agreeable or not. I'll go off and do my project, turn around the deliverable, and voila, I'm getting paid, while maintaining my 9 to 5 corporate
Well,
jobs.
I am looking at your page right now. Guys, this is a real life session, okay? This is really good information. We should be paying lots of money for this right now.
Oh,
And
you're so kind.
Jody Ann is giving us lots of good nuggets here. So I'm on your page, okay? Because like some
Thank
of the other
you.
people on this conference were nosy. So
So yeah,
I'm
again, my
assuming this is
handle
part
is
of your
Jason
partnership,
Stat.
right?
Yes, yes,
Can
yeah.
everybody see that? I know it's kind of far, but please go and follow her right now if you're on Instagram. I encourage
Yeah.
everybody to follow her right now. So I'm looking at a beautiful setup here with this
Yeah.
background. This looks
Uh-huh.
like to maybe, I don't know, or something and say, hey, can I stay here for the night and shoot a picture? Like, what? Did you set all of this up yourself?
You are so kind. But yeah, yes, I did. So my daughter, my
Wow.
14-year-old daughter, actually took that picture with my iPhone. I do have a professional camera because I love photography, and I even took a photography class, so many years ago, back in Jamaica.
Wow.
But I don't use that camera as much because it's just not as efficient, right? And in this day and age, you want to be as efficient as possible. So cut down the barriers and make sure that, hey, I take the picture and it's on my phone. I can edit it really quickly, upload it to Instagram, come up with a nice caption, you know and we'll get into that a little bit more. I'm going down a rabbit hole, but to go back to your original question,
Yeah.
is that's actually my bedroom. So the background, and
Wow.
that's where I am now, in my bedroom. I mentioned earlier also that my husband and we bought an older home that was built in the 70s, and that's what we could afford at the time,
Yeah.
right? And we were excited about taking on projects and just renovating the home, at our own pace and as the money comes in,
Mhm.
and to just kind of make it our own. So it's been challenging because sometimes, we don't always have all the patience in the world. We want everything to kind of just be ready,
Yeah.
but it has definitely taught us to be patient. But one of the benefits is we get to design the home,
Yeah.
you know, to our liking,
Right. Right.
and things like that. So
Right.
yeah, that's my bedroom.
Well, there's a question for you out there. The question states, how do you balance your full-time job with your other life? And are you a part of multiple streams of incomes generation? Not sure about the second question, but maybe we can try to answer it as best as possible. How do you balance your full-time job with your other life?
Right.
That's
So, a
the
really great
full-time
question.
job.
So, I will share with you one of the advice that I received from my mentor, and that is to create content in batches. I personally am just not there yet
Wow.
because I personally find that I am most creative in the moment, right? So I might be in the kitchen doing the dishes, and then an idea comes to me and like, oh, you can restyle that shelf with these fresh flowers that you just got, and then I just kind of create.
Right.
For me, that's how my creativity works best. But I can see how long term, as my 9 to 5, because sometimes not every day is busy,
Yeah.
and some days are more busy than others,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I can see in the long term how that would be beneficial to batch create content. And batch creating content pretty much means, say I take a Saturday
Yeah.
and I just have 12 hours of time that I'm staging and filming and shooting and just creating content, so that over the next week or two,
Mhm.
it's not as time consuming. I'm just posting,
Right.
writing my caption, engaging with my audience,
Mhm.
and things like that. But I must say, balance on a whole is challenging. But one of the things that I have found that has helped me is to just create routines, right? Routines that I am able to stick to. I love to meditate, it helps to keep me grounded. So I start my days with a meditation. I read my Bible app. I get on my Peloton and I exercise. And prior to me even having that exercise bike, my husband and I would go for a walk. And those things just really help to cultivate good practices and habits that makes you happy, right? And it makes you more productive. Um, and stuff. But trust me, balancing and juggling it all is
Mhm.
is 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 challenging. And then, being a Jamaican, or just being raised in a Caribbean family,
Yeah.
we're used to having a cooked meal just about every day,
Yes.
right? So whilst my girls who are a little bit more Americanized, they don't always want to eat my brown stewed chicken or my curry goat or chicken. They want the Chick-fil-A's or the Chipotle and things like that. But my husband enjoys it and I enjoy it. We love food. So I cook, all the time. Not all the time, but I would say 4 to 5 times per week. But we just have to kind of juggle it and make it work,
Okay.
you know?
Well, I have
Yeah,
another question from the audience.
sure.
they want to know, how do you handle negotiations? No, I'm sorry, how do you handle negative comments on your pages? So you post something, not everybody's going to like it, but then you'll have a lot of people who love it.
Yes.
How do you handle the negative comments? I know for me, sometimes I see them and ignore them. Sometimes I go on there and delete them.
Yeah.
You know, what is the best, I should say, what is the best technique? Because everyone wants their page to flourish, you know, and they don't want the negative comments to be all through their page. So
Right.
do you learn from them?
Yeah, that's another great question. And for those people who know me and genuinely know who I am,
Mhm.
they will tell you that I am, I'm kind-hearted, I'm sweet, I'm positive and optimistic.
Mhm.
And that is exactly how I approach the negative comments. And to be honest, I probably could count on one hand how many negative comments that I've received, right? I consider myself to be very engaged on my page. If you leave a comment, I'm going to respond to you. It might not be the same day, it might be the next day or a couple of days after,
Right.
but it's very important. And that also helps with the growth of your page.
Mhm.
But yeah, I remember one time I did a video and I was showcasing, my bathroom. And I was really excited about the faucet in the bathroom and the way the water came down the faucet. So I had the water running, and somebody made a comment about, do you know how many people in the world don't have running water? Why, next time you should consider not, turning the water on. And I just responded to say, that's really great feedback.
Right.
Thank you for that. And I think that's something to consider for the future. So I always try to just combat it with more positivity, or acknowledge the great feedback. Another one I'll just share really quickly.
Mhm.
I recently upholstered one of my daughter's stools. I have no idea about upholstering. I just tried it for the first time and it turned out to be really good. Got a lot of great feedback from it, but then there was one person out of hundreds of people that commented on the video
Right.
to say, that there was a lot of fabric wastage on that.
Mhm.
And for me, I was just like, I'm a beginner, I'm a novice. Maybe you can show me how to, really upholster a stool
You are
type.
very positive, because if that was me, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so funny. And a lot of the times these people, like even if they weren't following me before, I noticed that they wound up clicking that follow button and they follow me maybe because of the response that I gave or what have you. So
Right.
yeah, positivity wins for me
Yeah.
all the time.
Yes, yes. I mean, I just have to say, even your background, you're beautiful and everything is just flowing in one. I don't know if everyone is seeing what I'm seeing, but everything in your background and what you're wearing, the glow, it just clicks. And that's
Thank
probably
you.
why, looking at your page, it just works. Um,
Thank
so there were
you.
some things that you mentioned that was really important to me. I'm assuming to the others that are looking, but the power of positivity, meditation, reading your Bible app, taking those walks, um, being one with your husband. You didn't say that, but I think having a supportive spouse also helps that as well. So you've got your girls, right? And then
Yeah.
you've got your hubby, and I'm pretty sure you have an onset of cheerleaders out there as well. What would
Yes.
you say
Yes.
is one of your, I'm not gonna say one, because that makes it tough for you. But who would you say are your top 3 supporters that have your background in you being an influencer?
Absolutely. Really great question. I would definitely say my husband is number one. He is such a supportive cast member, and I honestly can't imagine my life without him.
Mhm.
He's truly supportive, very encouraging. And he also allows me my space to be creative and just pursue different things. I'm always out, trying to buy things and, redecorate and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And, we're dipping into our family's money, our life savings, right?
Good point.
So it's nice to have someone who is so supportive. And he's also very grounded. We're very opposite. And I'm left, he's right, but we find the middle ground somewhere.
Awesome.
Um, Another area of support would be, just my friend circle. I have a very tight friend circle. They know who they are. One of them, Shandice Anderson, she's here. She's my best friend. She lives five houses up the street
All right,
from me.
Shandy. Shout out to Shandy.
And Carrie, she's also an influencer on Instagram. Follow her if you guys aren't following her. Her name is Pops of Color Home. She was the one. She's one of my mentors, and she was the one that encouraged me to come on this platform. And I'm telling you, her guidance
Yeah.
has been invaluable because, like I said earlier, I was not on Instagram. I didn't even have a personal page there.
Mhm.
So I had to learn everything. And I'm a self-starter, so I'll do research on YouTube here and there. I'll read articles to learn and evolve and things like that. But when you have a mentor like Carrie, who's so willing to share
Yeah.
and offer advice and guidance, I lean on that and I embrace that a whole lot. And that's what this conference is about, right?
Absolutely.
Empowering women. And
Absolutely.
find that my circle,
Mhm.
they empower me.
Yeah.
They see me launch, they're like, go girl, way to go, and I'm cheering for them too in whatever their endeavors are. So
Yeah. Please, as you said, you have your tight circle. But you mentioned Carrie's page, and I think we've included that. Oh, you guys are awesome. You've included that in the chat section. So please follow Carrie as well. Like Jody did say, we are about empowering. So that was great. So your hubby, you have your friends, and did we get a number 3?
yeah, so I mentioned Carrie as number
Oh,
3 as
okay.
my mentor, and included in all of that is my family. My
Oh,
my family is just just very supportive. They're major cheerleaders
mhm,
of mine, but definitely my mentor, my family and friend circle,
mhm.
and my husband is number 1.
Awesome. So once this lockdown is over and we've moved forward, where are you going to go? Where would you go? Where would you travel to? And will you be taking your Instagram with you, or will it remain as it is right now?
Yeah, so when COVID first hit, we were very reserved, and we're still are reserved in terms of following all the protocols and things like that, social distancing, wearing our masks, sanitizing, and things like that. But as time went on, we started to explore a bit, as countries started to open up. One of the first places my husband and I went was Jamaica.
Mm.
And we were there for 10 days and we loved it so much. And can I just give a shout out to the Jamaican government for doing a phenomenal job
Um,
at,
yeah,
their COVID-19
yeah.
protocol. Trust me, first of all, you have to get a COVID test before you go there.
Mhm.
And then you're screened everywhere. Your temperature is taken to park. They're sanitizing your hands.
Yeah.
Masks are required every single where.
Mhm.
I mean, amazing.
Mhm.
And then when I come back here, I was able to re-enter the US at the time. It was late last year without even doing a COVID test or things like that. But
Right,
they had, our little island had all of that figured out already.
right.
So it made us very comfortable to go there. So even again, more recently, we sent our bigger girls to Jamaica with family. We didn't go with them, and they were well taken care of. Everything was, perfectly fine. A little bit different,
Yeah.
but perfectly fine. So I don't know where my husband's gonna take me once things really, really open up. Maybe to the Maldives. He's in here, so I'm hoping he's here. planning that special trip, but we don't have anything really on the radar per se, because we've just been doing little things here and there.
Okay. Well, someone wants to know where in Jamaica you're from. We're Jamaican women in this room, so we kind of want to know what schools you went to in Jamaica, where in Jamaica you're
Sure.
from, if you want to share.
Yeah, of course. No question is off limits. So I was born in Kingston at Natal Hospital, but I am a country girl, right?
Okay.
I speak the most countryest patois ever. So I went to Knox Junior and high school. And then, I mentioned earlier that we migrated to Pennsylvania when I was 15. But yep, I was born in Kingston, but raised in Spaldings,
Mm,
Manchester.
okay. Very cool. I've been to Spalding. I was in Spalding last year for a short
Okay.
minute. Cool. That was really cool. I think Maxine is joining us now.
Okay. Hi, Maxine. How are you?
Am I? Hi, can you?
Yes,
You can hear
hear
me.
you.
I can't see you.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, that's okay, Maxine. It's nice to see your beautiful face. I think we have about 2 minutes left in this session. So yeah,
Okay.
if we want to continue to open the floor to Q&A from the audience, or Maxine, if you had specific questions to ask, I'm definitely happy to answer.
Okay, so I was listening for most of the time, so I'm not sure whatever time I wasn't on what I missed. Have you spoken about mentorship as yet?
Yes, we spoke about
You
mentorship
have.
and the importance of having a mentor.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. Um, have you spoken about what are some of the affiliate programs that the audience members could get into on Instagram to make the passive income?
Yeah, sure. We didn't talk a whole lot about that. We touched on it
Okay.
a little bit. But additionally, I know I had mentioned, that there are brands out there that might email you, or you can reach out to them to request sponsorships from them. And also, once you hit 10,000 followers on Instagram, you get that swipe up feature where you can help to influence, your audience's purchases and things like that. But there are other ways, that you can earn on the platform. And many big organizations like Amazon, Like to Know It, Shop Your Likes, Inspire Me Home Decor, all these major corporations have what you call affiliate programs. So if you go to their website, type in affiliate program, you can apply to become a part of their affiliate program. And generally, one of the minimum requirements is usually at least 2,000 followers. Right? And you simply submit an application. There's no fee that's associated with it whatsoever. And essentially, you are again helping to influence your audience's purchases. So, for example, I'm an affiliate with Amazon, right? And there are many things that I buy from Amazon on a regular basis. And becoming an affiliate of that program allows me to post those products, on my stories, on my blog, or on my Instagram feed. And every time somebody makes a purchase of those items, I will make a commission from the purchases of those items. So, and then like with like to know it, maybe not a lot of people aren't as familiar with it, but they have a plethora of companies that are registered with them, like Home Depot, Kohl's, Old Navy, The Gap,
Right.
Saks Fifth Avenue, so even like outfits that I wear,
Yeah.
I can take a picture of it, upload it to Like to Know It, link it. The minute somebody purchases it, I also,
That's
will make
cool.
a commission
That's really
from it
cool.
as well. So yeah, many ways to monetize on the platform. And again, another big income earner for me personally is just having clients.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, it was amazing having you. We're gonna have to have you back on again. I don't know. We're gonna have to do a part 2 or something like that. Thank you so much, Maxine, for joining us.
And I just want to apologize to everyone.
Yeah.
technology just works sometimes and it doesn't. So today's case, it's another one of those situations. So I apologize on behalf of JWOF, and yeah, I would love to have carry on this chat another time with Jody, and even on the JWOF page if anyone have any follow-up questions, and we can put that on the JWOF page if you guys allow it. But I would love to carry on this conversation with you, Jody Ann.
So ladies, we are actually recording this so that we can play this for future reference, because there's a lot of information for us. So we'll make sure that we put that out on our JWOF page for everyone to access in the future.